Find the two solutions of the equation cos x equals 3 over 2. So, first thing I'm going to need is my circle, ASTC. Okay, and you have to know this off by heart. Okay, so all is positive, sine is positive, tan is positive, cos is positive, 0, 90, 180, 270. Okay, and in every question you're going to use that. Now there's rules for each quadrant, isn't there? What are the rules again? Does anybody remember? Second quadrant is 180 minus r. Third quadrant, fourth quadrant. Okay. Now we're going to use this information for every question. Alright. First things first. Is cos positive or negative? That's cos positive or negative here? It's positive, isn't it? So what does that mean? One of its answers will be in A, because everything's positive. And where's its second answer? 270 to 360, which means we're going to use this rule here. Is that okay? Go to your calculator and cos inverse root 3 over 2. We got pi over 6, okay? Who got 30 degrees? If you got 30 degrees, then you are in 30 degrees means you're in what's it called? Degree mode, which is perfect, okay? What rule do I have to use for the other part? What's the fourth quadrant answer? 360 take away 30, and what you get? Now, will I get full marks for these two answers? I won't. Why not? What way does I want to present it as? Radians. How do I know I want to present it as radians? It has like that. So how do I convert them from degrees into radians? Pi equals 180 degrees. Would you agree with that? Divide it by 180 and slap a pi at the back. So divide that by 180, divide that by 180, and put a pi underneath it. And you'll get pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. Is that alright? And you can convert it quite quickly. Now next thing is this one here. Now once again, there's a small trick in it, okay? I'll explain the trick in a second. Now, for argument's sake, I'm going to call this sine r. Is that okay? First of all, is sine positive or negative? What does that mean? What two quadrants are in effect? T and C. Which means what? You're using those two there. Is that alright? Now, ignore that it's minus. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to sine inverse root 3 over 2 for me. So sine inverse root 3 over 2, and what you get? 60. Is that okay with you guys? Now, here's the next trick. You ready? I want you to apply your two rules. So what's 180 plus 60? What's 180 plus 60 for rule 3? And what's 360 take away 60? But here's the issue. See the 3 theta? See the way it's 3 theta? You need to do 3 rotations worth. I'll explain now why you need 3 rotations worth. I'll find all the solutions. Alright, so this is going to be interesting, alright? So I'll explain what you do here. So it doesn't give you any limit, does it? It doesn't say to have all your answers between 0 and 2 pi. Would you agree with that? Okay, so get this. Here, what would be your next answer? Add another 360 onto it, and what would you get? 600, 660, and what's the next one after that? Anybody know? Add another 360 onto it. 960 and... Okay? Now, the reason why I did this is it's 3 theta, isn't it? So what do I have to do with the 3? What? Divide, and what would be my answers? 80. What other answer? 100. 200. What's that? 220? 320 and... Is that right? And 340? Alright. Now, it doesn't ask for specific answers. It asks for what's called... Asks for a general answer, doesn't it? Alright. So, what happened back here was... there's 2 sets of answers. Does everybody see these are the red set? Where you start off at 240 and you jump up 360 every time. Does everybody see that these are the blue set? Where you start off at 300 and you jump up 360 every time. Everybody see that? Alright? So here's what it could look like instead. You could say one answer is 3 theta equals 240 plus 360n. What does 360n stand for, anybody? What does 360n stand for? How many rotations you're putting in. Is that alright? What happens when n equals 1? What answer would you get when n equals 1? You get 600 for n equals 1. What happens if you did n equals 2? Exactly, alright? Now what about the red answer? What would you do for the red answer? 3 theta equals what? 300 plus 360. And is that alright with you guys? Now we have one thing we got to change. What do I need these answers in? Radians. Let's change everything to radians. What's 240 in terms of radians? 240 divided by 180 and slap a pi at the back. So what you get? Anybody? 5 over 3 pi, is it? 4 over 3 pi. And everybody knows 360 is 2 pi. And what about 300? What about 300, lads? What's 300 divided by 180? 5 pi over 3, is it? Plus 2m pi. We're just converting the 360 into 2 pi. Everybody cool with that? Have I got pi on its own yet? Sorry, have I got theta on its own? What's preventing the theta from being on its own? So divide both sides by 3. What happens when you divide by 3? What's 4 over 3 divided by 3? 4 over 9. And what's 2m pi divided by 3? Just 2m pi divided by 3. And what about the other one here? What's 5 pi over 3 divided by 3? 5 over 9 pi. And there are your 2 general solutions, okay? If you throw in any value of n, it will tell you what value you'll get your answer. Because there's an infinite number of loops, okay? If you're really confused, you should be, okay? It's very difficult to get this down in one class. So we did 2 and 6 today. My advice would be to go over 2 and 6 at home later on using the video. And then from there do 1, 3, 4 and 5.
What exercise is this?
This is exercise 3.9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.